Peace, everybody. My name is Maya Crown Williams. I am founder of MechaCon, Midwest Ethnic Convention for Comics and Arts. This is our 4th year. Today we have our panel centered on hip hop, sponsored by Submerge and Underground Resistance, entitled The Life and Times of Detroit Hip Hop. And with me on our panel we have Mark Hicks, Book Brown, Mr. Cliff Notes, Zaina of Spectacles, Butter, DJ Butter, and P-Knuckle of Almighty Dreadnoughts.
All right.
Moderating our panel will be the lovely Lee Gaddis.
Everybody? Okay, so our purpose here today is to pull from you some nuggets of the totality of hip hop, because this is a rich gold mine of information and knowledge that we have here. So I hope you guys will take advantage of the question and answer session after this. So first, let's just lay a baseline of our hip hop knowledge, because some of us were here before the term hip hop was coined. So let's get a baseline of where were you at when you knew that hip hop was a thing, was an entity, as a music format moving forward. Yeah.
Mark Hicks. Honestly, in the early 80s, my mom was an avid record collector. She collected all types of vinyl, everything. You know, just like not even just as a hobby, just, you know, vinyl was everything back in the late 70s, early 80s. I remember she brought home this Curtis Blow record. She didn't get it the first day it came out, and I can't remember, but she had got the breaks. Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, that's cool, you know. And I like, you know, and then I started, you know, feeling it. And then, you know, I'm the youngest in the family. And so, you know, on Saturdays we go to movies, you know. Of course, my brothers and sisters was the ones who got the choice of the movies. And, of course, Crush Groove and everything. And I was kind of like, you know, I kind of got, you know, indoctrinated to the hip-hop. And then when I first was like, okay, I'm in love with this hip-hop, is when I went, like, it was a store that me and Butter used to go to, Chantinique's in Highland Park, and we started buying records, and like Public Enemy, Special Ed, Youngest in Charge, I Got It Made, that was the name of his single, and he had an album called Youngest in Charge. That's when I was like, okay, this is my life, and it's been ever since. I haven't had no other job but hip hop.
Okay, there you go. Next.
My name is Will Brown, and I was born in 1982, so I'm not privileged to have quite as much of that type of experience with a golden era-esque type style of hip hop. But when I realized, or when I even saw that Stanley, aka MC Hammer, was selling millions and millions of records, it was hip hop, but it was like, oh my God, he infused it with pop, and now it's rock, and now it's this. So you could see where it kind of, that line gets so blurred, because hip hop will sell you anything and everything, and has sold you any and everything since, let's say, 1990. So it's kind of a thing where it's like, well, hip hop has kind of infused itself with almost every element of social commentary and sales and living and life for everybody walking around here. So it's kind of difficult to separate it from, or even distinguish where that starting point was for me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, same with me. My name is Mr. Cliff Note. And I was born in '79, so by the time that I could remember hearing music and all of that, it was hip hop, soul music. Like my dad used to play Run DMC and Houdini all day, like Curtis Blow and all that type of stuff. So I remember being 2 and 3 years old quoting that stuff. Like the first song my parents had me on tape actually singing was the Message. I mean, like 2 years. I don't remember it, but they got me like 2 years old on tape going like a Genesis time, man. Yeah, that was that. I always knew. I mean, now watching older footage and seeing like people thought that hip hop wouldn't be a thing, like that's news to me, because as a kid it was a thing. It was like, it was popping, like Curtis Blow and Crush Groove came out, Run DMC, like this is when I'm like first hearing music, like really getting into it. So it was always a thing for me.
It was the background music of your life.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah, okay.
definitely.
Well, my name is Zana Smith. I own Spectacle, it's a boutique in downtown Detroit. And prior to owning Spectacles, I owned a record store on Dexter called Junior's Jazz Room. And that was back in the 70s, when I had that record shop back in 71. And what I remember about hip hop was the whole controversy as to whether it would be a medium. And there was a lot of talk about it just being a flash in the pan and wasn't going to last. But when I actually knew that it was there, I can't really tell you. Because I grew up during an R&B era and a disco era. So hip hop came in and it was kind of like you didn't really want to accept it. But the beat was so heavy that it couldn't be denied. And that's what I remember about hip hop.
My name is DJ Butter, mixtape pioneer, producer from Detroit. Coming up, I think my first dose of hip hop was really like Christmas rapping from Curtis Blow. Just stuff to me. It's like my grandmother let me listen to it because she'd keep her radio on like the church station all day.
Right.
So when she heard it, she was comfortable with it. So she'd let me hear it often. She'd let me listen to it more. And then when I heard the message and the scene when they showed the crack vial in the video and all that stuff, that's what kind of got me to where like, man, it's gonna be here to stay. Because one of my friends was his father was like a crackhead coming up, and just to see it all related. You know what I'm saying? It was all that stuff was coming home. You know what I'm saying? And we started our own rap group in Highland Park. We used our Mark IV track. He was the only one that I knew that would let us use some equipment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it was back then. I think it was about $600 or something. Yeah, that was what was that, 89 or something like that, 88. And our homeboy, he got killed when we was coming up. He was our rhyme partner. He was some guy him and I grew up with. We started our own rap group, and Mark was able to let us use his equipment. He passed away, so Mark and I was able to break off and really get in the game to really see it work for us after we lost our homeboy, you know what I'm saying? So he was, I think was your first account was Tommy Boy or something?
Oh yeah,
It was just, when he started working for the record labels, it was like a certainty, for us to really be in the game, you know what I'm saying? So that was my first dose.
Haley, it's P. Knuckle, Almighty Dreadnoughts. My first dose is when she had the record store. I was born in 72, so I was coming out of that era of R&B, so that was always around. But my first hit was It's Like That, Run DMC, period. That was what was on the radio, and it gave the young people that voice from Temptations, Four Tops, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yeah, you had that, but now you got a young voice now, Run DMC. And that was it, Run. He was loud, he was live, it was all about being hype and having fun. And when I graduated high school, Dreadnoughts formed. When I joined that group, that's when I really knew, because we had a bunch of dope MCs that grew up in the same era. Everybody was about clarity, writing your own rhymes, making sure people could hear you, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about over blasting anything, but we dope.
Right.
We can show you how dope we are. You know what I'm saying? Amongst the crew, you know, when we started, we had 20 people and 5 of them could produce and 3 of them could scratch. And now you got a group of brothers. And you know what I'm saying? Watching Run DMC go on and that crew that went out for Fresh Fest and stuff like that. That's how our group was kind of built. Entities of a family, but we all a family. Got Run DMC, Houdini, all of them going out. And we had all that in one. So that's when I knew